WA Food Ambassador Don Hansey at Sweet Lips in Scarborough. Don, you've cooked up some Geograph Bay herring and some lightly crumbed sardines. What is it about the Geograph Bay herring that you like?
Well, I really love both of the fish. The herring comes from the Geograph Bay, and because I'm a Bunbury boy, we used to go fishing there a hell of a lot. It's a very sustainable fishery. It is extremely healthy with the great omegas, and it's in plentiful supply, so it is a sustainable fish. The Esperance sardines and probably the Fremantle sardines are also in good supply, really healthy and a good price, so great to feed a family.
And would you say that sardines are a bit of an acquired taste?
Look, I suppose so. I think in the old days, most people thought of sardines and mullet as bait fish, but with our multicultural society we've got now in Western Australia, people are realising that these fish are just awesome. So acquired taste, lots of little fine bones, but when you cook them, the bones dissipate. So don't be frightened of the bones.
And I wouldn't think of crumbed fish and some soy and linseed bread as a breakfast meal. Why is it such a good meal for breakfast?
Look, I was brought up with a fisherman father, and we used to have herring on toast for breakfast probably 3 or 4 days a week, because he'd go fishing over at the what we call the rocks in Bunbury. A lot of fresh fish. Mum would just pan fry them, a little bit of lemon juice and on some white toast. This is a bit more of a healthy take using a New Norcia ciabatta, or this one's a linseed sourdough. And the crumbs, you can make your own crumbs, but I just used the panko crumbs today with some fresh herbs from my garden, some chopped basil, some chopped parsley, and I had some fennel bulbs growing, so a little bit of fine fennel bulb, but you can use dill. So you put a flavouring in your crumbs and it just adds a healthy kick to it.
And some English breakfast tea to top it off.
Oh, absolutely. My dear mum used to have a cup of English breakfast tea with the herrings on toast.
Dr. Joe, tell us a bit about the benefits of eating fish, particularly in the morning.
Look, fish are an excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids, and they're called the good fats. And they're very important for our heart health, they're good for our blood vessels, good for the joints, and good for brain development too. So particularly for kids, eating some fish as part of their diet really helps with brain development. Look, fish has also got iodine, selenium, and lean protein, so it's a really great meal. There's a view that says we should try and eat fish about 2.7 times per week. If we can't manage that, then that's often why people take fish oil capsules, but it is better to eat the real thing. There's a lot that's being shown now that if we have some protein for breakfast, it actually keeps us going longer through the day. People often find if they have maybe some toast and cereal at breakfast, they're a bit hungry by the middle of the morning. Whereas if we've had some protein, something that's got some good fats in it as well, actually it's a slower burn. So we don't find we get the munchies mid-morning.
And so do you have a particular night of the week that you might seek out a fish and chips for the family?
Look, Tuesday's fish night at home, and the rest of the week we can sort of raffle. So, look, fish and chips is an excellent way to go. Again, people have sort of thought of fish and chips as not a healthy food to eat, but in actual fact, fried fish in good oils is excellent. If you really want to go the whole hog, look, have it grilled if you want to, but don't be scared of having some fried fish and even some chips. Not, 3 times a day, 7 days a week, but, once a week is fine.
I'm with Michael Waldock from Sweet Lips in Scarborough, his third shop. You won a National Fish and Chip Award last year. What is it that got you across the line?
Well, generally it's our commitment to especially Western Australian fresh produce. So we get a lot of our fish in whole and process it and fill it on the premises. So it's not something every fish shop does. It's not easy to manage in some respects, but I think that's what sets us apart and what won us the award.
And do you have a favourite fish that you enjoy working with and eating as well?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got a fairly broad appreciation of fish, as you'd imagine. I also like the oily fish. I grew up on, catching herring and at Rottnest, so I've got a real sort of appreciation of the oily fish. But even things like fresh shark, which we get from down south, is really nice. And some of the wider fillets like the pink snapper, red emperor, they're all delicious. So.
You've won about 3 awards in the last 6 months, and it was the first time you'd entered awards. What made you decide to actually go for them at this stage?
It was just actually one of my employees sort of, appreciated what we were doing and said, let's enter the WA Seafood Industry Awards, and something came through the post as well. So I normally get those and just sort of, put them aside as I'm busily doing other things. And he said, well, why don't we run with this and see how we go? So
And it worked.
Well, yeah, it did. Yeah, it was great.
Now, you've had Leederville since 1995, and then you went to Fremantle, now Scarborough. What can we look forward to in the future from Sweet Lips?
Well, we do want to, from this point, we do want to expand our concept. We think, we've got something that can work in a broader sense in the market. So, over the next few years, we'd be definitely looking to open, 2 to 3 more shops.